Hey,
Awesome.
Hey, and we're recording. Hi, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. We wanted to chat with our members, kind of get the word about Soul Games out there, and we thought the best way to do it would be to put together this like long form podcast kind of interview between myself, Lewis. I don't know if it's pointing to Lewis on your screen. Lewis?
on my screen, I'm this way for you.
This is Lewis for me.
Okay. And what we want to do is, like I said, just get together, kind of talk about the concept of soul games, why we feel it's so important. Want to talk about what the Team Soul philosophy is behind competing. Um, Share some concepts and ideas about the differences between, the care and the attention we give towards athletes versus our regular members at the gym. Kind of just go through all of that. We've gotten so many questions about who is Soul Games for, who should be doing it, what divisions people should be participating in, and everything. So we just want to go through all that and educate everybody as best as we can. There's a gentleman who you know kind of set me on my path in fitness. His name's Greg Glassman. He is the founder of the methodology of CrossFit and
The goat.
the goat. Yes, in my opinion, the goat. He had a philosophy where he would call all of the members at his gym athletes. Now, I am personally aligned with so many things that Greg Glassman talks about in regards to fitness, chronic disease, etc. But this is something that I had a difference of opinion, and I wanted to express that in our gym as best as possible. And it's exactly what I had said at the beginning, where we don't give the same level of treatment to our athletes as we do our members. For us, there's like a very clear distinction between the two. I would even argue that oftentimes members, clients need a higher level of care and love and attention on things that, we can talk about highly complex things like movements and technique, but even like understanding the gym and knowing the schedule and knowing coaches' names and familiarizing themselves with members and knowing, the events, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many things that new members need a lot of our love and care and attention for. And in my opinion, like the highest level of athlete is very self-sufficient at a certain point. So like for me, it's been very helpful to have that clear distinction between the two. And it's interesting that like we're jumping on this podcast kind of situation to talk about that while also talking about how both of those groups can share in competition together. Sometimes I think that competition in the CrossFit space and what people call competitive gyms get a really bad rap because there's that there's that common understanding that like a gym like that, that's all they care about. And for us, it's not. For us, it's been more about how can we merge both of those that populations together. How can one support the other? How can the competitors make the members better? How can the members make the competitors better? And we've seen so many gyms completely implode at trying to do that. And it's been a hell of a challenge throughout the 16 years. But I think we do that really well. First question I got for our team is what has signing up for an event taught you that normal training could not?
So that's for anyone that's come from any sort of like sport background, that's a very easy answer. Like if you played sports growing up, competition teaches you so much about life, like discipline and how to work hard and things like that. But it also teaches you like this thing with expectations and knowing where you're at and the ability to challenge yourself, and it raises your standards quite drastically. Like in terms of competing at things that we do in the gym. Like I competed in powerlifting, I've competed in weightlifting, I've done a CrossFit comp, like I've tried to compete at everything. I did high rocks, etc. Competing will we can talk about a million things that it will do. It's going to focus your training. It's going to make you like work harder. You're going to dial in your nutrition, all that sort of stuff. But essentially, what it comes down to is you're forcing yourself to do something scary that you don't really, at some level, want to do, right? And it terrifies you, but doing it will raise your level of work ethic. And typically, what happens is when you do it, you start to go, oh, that person that beat me by a little bit, I could do that. And it like kind of raises your expectations of what you're capable of doing in everything. And that kind of goes for everything in life. It goes for the workplace as well. Like people compete all the time. People compete at whatever job they're in, whatever. And that can be a healthy, motivating thing. And for a lot of people, it is like seeing somebody do something that you think is like, oh, that person beat me, but I could do that if I really tried, raises what you're capable of doing in your own head, like for yourself. It gives you this like thought process of like, dude, I could get there, and it forces you to push yourself outside of your boundaries. I think that's why we're so big on pushing our clients to compete at anything. Any program we do, we always push people to compete at. That's like something we're very big on. It really does raise the standard for everybody, and it raises what people think their standards are and what they're capable of doing.
I almost wish there was like a different word that we can refer to how we try to motivate our clients and members to compete in these different things. Uh, because I do feel like there's a negative and toxic connotation with that word for so many people, especially in the space of fitness, you know?
Can be.
Um, I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, like specifically, like so so everybody's aware through Danielle's like spectrum in fitness, Danielle has spent times where she is training like a professional athlete. Danielle has taken moments where she is taking classes 3, 4 times a week, like any member would. Danielle's had times where she's bodybuilding in the gym, like she's done so many different things. So, I'm curious, like when you sign up for something, whatever the case may be, what are some of the things that you experience that like your normal fitness cannot teach you?
I think that signing up for something for me has always been like a measurable goal. So I think that's something like I just started competing in CrossFit because I missed the games or like the like I played soccer and water polo when I was a rower, so there was always like a match. There was always like a regatta. There was like something that made doing the sport to me worthwhile, right? Like I didn't just do the sport like as a pickup basketball game or like pickup soccer game. Like I competed in the sport because there was like a season and there was like an end goal of making it as far as you can. And so that's just kind of always been aligned with me. So when I started doing CrossFit, I didn't even know there were competitions. And then I was like, oh, you can like go against other people and like do this and try to win. Like, yeah, I'm down. So for me, typically right now is I get bored. And so I attach myself to doing something. Um, Sorry, Riley is being a jerk right now.
You're good. That could happen here any second. So,
So I feel like I get a little bit bored and I need to focus my training and do something so that I'm not just like all over the place. So I feel like that's what competitions, that's what half marathons have done. I did a whole powerlifting cycle so I could learn more about it because I wanted to do it because I was bored. That was for me personally. And so once I sign up for something, then it starts to align everything else in my life. It aligns my schedule, it aligns my eating, it aligns my training, it aligns my time outside of the gym. And so then everything looks a little bit clearer for me. And that to me is more healthy than like being all over the place. So that's it for me at this point in stage in my life. Before it was just more about like, how can I make it to the CrossFit Games? Like, period. Like, what did it take? And figuring that out. But at this point now, competing in CrossFit actually scares me because I wouldn't say over the hump, but I don't feel that I'm like gonna ever be
Ah,
my fittest version of myself. So competing scares me because I'm always comparing myself to my previous self. But like right now, like my goal is to take classes and to be everyone in class. Like my goal is to be every single person that takes a
Which she
class
does.
and just try to like annihilate everyone. Um, but that's kind of like how I see it. And I feel like it goes back to like when we have our goal boards and like our goal setting. I feel like when things start to get a little bit out of whack, you have always encouraged us to like align ourselves with a goal and then work your way back. So that's kind of just always stayed with me. So like that's kind of like
Yeah.
right now my goal this summer was to have fun because last summer I trained all summer and it was super stressful. So right now I'm having fun doing bodybuilding and taking CrossFit classes because the classes at Soul are so fun and I love doing them. Um, and I think people like me doing them, so it's cool. And so
I agree.
that's how I look at it now for sure.
I'm gonna hit Tommy with a question. Tommy, what do people usually get wrong about competitions? I think it's very important that I ask Tommy directly that question. Tommy just competed this weekend at the Atlantic Coast
Classic.
Challenge, right? Is
Classic.
that
Classic.
Classic? Atlantic Coast Classic.
Well,
Atlantic Coast Classic.
let me
And it's
answer
a
the first one first,
okay,
because
tell us.
I wanna what signing up for a competition has taught me is it humbles you, right? Typically you think you're good at something, then you go against other people, and then you're like, maybe I'm not that good at that thing, right? Because competition brings the best out of everyone. Like someone could be bad in the gym, but when it comes to competition, they become a different person. That's something else that could teach you that you tap into someone that you didn't even know existed because you're in competition mode. Okay.
That's so funny, dude. I think a lot of us have such different perspectives on it. Like, for me, doing a powerlifting meet always made me go like, I could beat that person that squatted a little bit more than me. Like, and
Yeah.
then the next one, like, I set a goal higher than what I've ever had before. And that's how like I've like pushed my numbers higher than they've ever been, like, or higher than I ever expected, because I would go to a meet, I would lose to somebody, and I'd be like, why is that guy beating me? I could do
Yeah, he's not
that.
better than me.
And
There's no way
it,
that guy could beat me.
right, so it doesn't like in a way, yeah, losing humbles you, but it actually like kind of like
Yeah.
raises what I think I'm
Yeah.
capable of. So it's
I
just
think
funny
we
to hear the
saw that
opposite.
happen to Thomas in real time
Yeah.
this weekend, literally from the first event until the last. You know, he
It
got
went up and
humbled,
down, up and
and
down.
and
But
and
but
and
yeah,
and he showed up.
another thing that I also struggle with is dealing with nerves. Like I'm not good with dealing with nerves. I'm gonna be honest. But that's the only you only get those type of feelings when you sign up for a competition. You can't replicate that feeling in training. I mean, someone could beat me and I'll be like, okay, fine, I'll beat them tomorrow and easy, right? But in competition, there's nerves because you can only do this one time. This chance you have to get everything perfect. So yeah, that's I think signing up for a competition is one of the best things you could do, and you're gonna get hooked on it if you do.
And that, dude,
Um,
that feeling is like applicable to every part of life.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
not just a CrossFit thing or a weightlifting, it's every part of your life. Like there's that feeling of like having nerves and still having to do something is very important.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's. I think you have to exercise that muscle as well. You know that I think that's something that we kind of push on all of our members, all of our clients, all of our athletes, everybody to put themselves out there because it raises the level of everything. I think that like one of the most important things that we've talked about so far, something that Dee had shared, and I'm pointing to Dee, something that she had shared about like, the rest of your life gets aligned as well. Because when you're going like, there's a magic in like committing, saying August 8th, I'm gonna do the thing, put it on the calendar, commit to it, and like Danielle said, you work your way back. Here's what my lifestyle should look like right now so I can be at my best August 8th. And you may not have that killer instinct that Thomas has, that Danielle has had, that Lewis has when he competes. But there's some beauty. Like, I don't always have that killer instinct. And I've competed a ton as well. And for me, like, yes, I have those feelings, man. I could beat that guy and I want to beat that guy, but it's not like the three of those guys. I do not have the killer instinct like three of those guys. For me, there's like a magic in seeing the rest of my life get dialed in. Like when I sign up for a half marathon, the best shape I'm in, best body composition, the most I'm sleeping, the best I'm eating is in the lead up for that thing. So I really think that that's where that magic lies. So Tommy, tell us, you just competed at ACC. It's an incredibly diverse population. There's babies
Yeah.
that compete at that thing, all different masters divisions, etc. So I think like you have a unique perspective on that. You just did it this weekend with so many different people. So what do you feel like people usually get wrong about their concept of competing?
Yeah, I think like that you people think like signing up for a competition is just I'm gonna sign up just because I have to win, right? I think competing is everyone should do it, and like it would push you some levels that you've never been to before, and you get such an experience. Everyone, even if you're last place or first place, like especially us, we run a competition where you're gonna have a good time whether you're being first, middle pack, or in the last pack.
I agree with that. I mean, the thing that like my biggest pet peeve is when we're like pushing someone to sign up for soul games or a run, a marathon, or weightlifting, whatever they're doing in the gym, and they say, "Oh, I really want to do that. I'll do that next year when I'm in better shape or I'm stronger, or I'm faster."
Yeah, that's
What do you mean? Like your first comp or whatever, your second or third, they're all just starting points. Like it's a starting point. No one says that about any other thing in their life that they're learning. You just start. You start where you start. And if you keep competing, who cares like if you don't win your first one? Like what does that matter? You know,
and
like
it's good because you get a good data point. Like let's say you do soul games and you place ninth in the TSC division or the RX division or even the skill division. The next year you could have a goal of top three in the skill division or whatever.
Yeah, Tommy, when you're speaking about this, I don't think you've heard the three of us talk about this before, but it's a concept we used to talk about in the gym a lot. And if there's a for sure thing about our gym is no matter who you are and what your interest is, we're gonna push you.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna be at our gym, we're not necessarily trying to turn you into an athlete, but we're trying to challenge you and we're trying to push you in whatever it is you feel makes you tick. And our gym has so much diversity in our programming, so many different program offerings. There's truly something for everybody. Tommy, what I was going to tell you is something we used to commonly tell members is what are your Olympics? I hear right.
Yeah.
um, something that we would commonly tell people and challenge themselves with is like, what is your Olympics? Like for Danielle, it was making it to the CrossFit Games
Yeah.
on a team, and she did it, and she did it twice. But for my mom cannot relate to that. Like my mom cannot feasibly possibly have that goal. But maybe my mom walking her a 5K could be like, walking a 5K with Aiden would make my mom feel just as happy as when Danielle went to the CrossFit Games for the first time. Like it's the same feeling. My mom is never going to understand the feeling of qualifying for the CrossFit Games,
but the
but
fulfillment's the same.
the fulfillment is the
Yeah.
same. Like the top is the top. It's the
Yeah.
best you've ever experienced, no matter what, within your fitness life.
And
Um,
and honestly, as a coach, and I would say this, I think all of us could agree on this. It's more fun to push someone, a regular person, than a competitor, because the
Absolutely.
competitor pushes themselves already, right? And
yeah,
it's better, it's more rewarding when a regular person pushes themselves and signs up for a competition. For us, I think, I feel.
yeah. I mean, I agree completely, and that's why, like, the what we try to set up at Soul Games is truly for everybody. We're gonna have multiple divisions. Your
Yeah.
coaches are gonna pick your divisions, so our members don't even have to worry about that. Like, nobody knows you guys better than the coaches, and that's who's going to decide and place people in those respective divisions. So,
Dare to say that if you are someone who regularly takes CrossFit classes and you have been a member for minimum 3 to 6 months and you are still showing up and taking classes, you have some level of desire to be better because that's
mm,
what CrossFit instinctually does. Like, that's why there is like a, like an RX on the workout, right? Like there's a measurable goal to try to like reach those weights, those dumbbells, and everyone is always trying to get as close as possible to what the prescribed workout is. 100%. I don't think there's anyone right now that I've run into that at least goes to the Miami location that is just okay doing the same exact weight and the same exact height on a box jump or the same exact everything for like the duration of their experience or their time at Soul. So you are already doing it. Just do it in a way that's actually pushing you to do it against other people where like we're forcing you to like get your score and put it on a leaderboard because maybe you
mm,
do it, you just
Yeah.
don't log your scores on SugarWOD because there's a lot of people that do not log their SugarWOD scores and it's really, really obnoxious to me and it really upsets me. because you do the workout and just write it down so that we can track it, so we can look at it, so we can like measure your progress. So a competition is just that in one day. If it's a 1 day competition, if it's a 2 day competition, 3 day, whatever. So if you think about it on a micro scale, you're already doing that day in and day out. This would be like more of a macro approach on a 1 day where maybe there's more eyes on you than the typical 6 a.m. class of a 9 a.m. or 4 p.m. or whatever. So it's kind of like my thought on it. Like, you wouldn't keep showing up to take CrossFit classes if you didn't want to be better in some capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. The next topic that I was going to jump to quickly is how do competitors make the community better? And I had an experience this weekend. It's something that I shared with Thomas at the camp already. We do a training camp before our athletes compete at something. We did one a couple weeks ago for that event ACC that Thomas was just talking about. And I saw it this weekend happened again.
Yeah.
So I watched all of the kids' workouts this weekend, except for the first one, for the ones who went early. And they move like Danielle and Thomas and Jesse and Maria and Kat, etc., and Adri and everybody. They emulate you guys. These children have sat in our gym for longer than Thomas has been at our gym. Those like the Kaufman twins have been at our gym since they were 5 or 6.
5.
They're 13 going on since they were 5. They're about to turn 14 years old, and they move like Danielle does. They're competing with so much focus, so much discipline. They know how to warm up. I mean, it is truly something beautiful and impressive that these children have learned by just sitting in the corner and watching you guys for years. They probably watch more CrossFit than anything else on an iPad, And again, I think it's easy for competitors to get a bad rap, but holy shit, it was so beautiful to watch that. Like, they learn from you guys. And, again, like, yes, these kids went out and are testing themselves in a competition, but the best way for our members, well, I'm not going to say the best way, but a great low-hanging fruit for our members to experience is watching other people move and compete and push themselves. And, oh, wow, look at that style of box jump. Maybe I can do more work in this limited amount of time if I try that. Oh, look at this style of wall ball. Look, his arms go down. Like, there's so many things you learn by watching that can truly make your fitness better. And that's, again, like what everybody keeps saying, what everybody's in this for, I would like to hear from the three of you guys. What would you say to someone who is currently on the fence about signing up? Louis.
I mean, go back to what I was saying before. My biggest pet peeve is you're never not fit enough to start. Like Dee was saying, if you're in the gym taking classes, you obviously have some desire to be better. There is no waiting around to be fitter to start. Like, you just need to start now. Like, your starting point is your starting point. Wherever you're at now is enough. Sign up. You will get better. Like, just signing up will focus your training. It will focus your nutrition. You will try harder in classes. You will work harder than you think you're capable of. And the day of, you will have a blast and you will leave there going, I can do more. Everyone does. That's what happens to everybody. No matter the comp, you always leave going, I can do more myself. Period. And it will make you a better person overall. That's like how I truly believe competing in every aspect of your life makes you a better person.
Yeah, I think that's very important to highlight. Like I love talking to guys and girls that have that killer instinct and want to do what Tommy's doing. Like, that's a whole nother ball game. But it, like what Lewis is saying is right. Like, it truly improves the quality of your life.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. Tommy.
I think, I mean, I don't want to sound cocky, but
Oh,
it's,
God.
I have to. It's just sign up. It's simple. You just got to pay a fee. We'll put you in a division. It's simple as that. We're going to run the best event there is in South Florida, the best test of fitness. And it's going to keep you accountable, like we said, right? You're going to be training better. You're going to be eating better because you know there's something coming up. And we're going to have fun. We're going to have a $20K cash prize and a cool shirt. So yeah, you should sign.
I mean, I don't know why anyone would be on the cusp of not wanting to sign up, but in the event that there are, I think about the person at the end of that competition and how proud of themselves they are and like what they accomplished. So I think about someone that really comes to my mind is at the last Soul Games. Lizzie Cairo did Soul Games, okay? And if you know Lizzie Cairo, like when she started, that girl couldn't do an air squat. She could barely do a burpee. She couldn't do anything. But we convinced her to sign up, and we're like, don't worry about what division you are, because we as coaches will have eyes on all of you at all times. We know exactly your level of fitness, and we're going to put you in the right heats against the right people to match you up, because like we're not going to put you against someone that isn't going to be close to your level of fitness or your I guess like prescription on workouts. And she was so proud of herself at the end. Like she never thought that she could accomplish any of those things, much less do more than one workout in one day. And the bitch did it. Like she did it, and she was so proud of herself, and she was like glowing and so happy. And I think like if we made the difference in that one person's life on that one day, like imagine how you could feel if you just pushed yourself a little bit, like outside of that like bubble that you're safe in, like how proud of yourself you can be. And then think back about the conversation you had with the coach that you were like nervous about doing it. And you're going to be so proud of yourself. Like you're going to be just happy that you took that leap of faith and you did it. So I don't know if I answered your question, but like that's like the
Yeah.
thing that came to my mind like when you asked that question.
Yeah, dude,
That's
that was
that's
beautiful.
that's the point. That's the whole
Yeah,
point of it. It's not like
that's
winning. Like the winning is not the point. The point is that it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
growth. It's like feeling accomplished. Like
Yeah.
that's the point.
that was her Olympics.
Yeah.
Like she got like someone like Lizzie. I know Lizzie very well. Someone like Lizzie has not experienced especially as an adult, has not experienced that. Her stepson was there. Her husband was there. People were cheering her name and screaming for her.
Yeah.
Like she was the GOAT. I agree there. And you know what? I think we're gonna close there. That was like too poetic to say anything else about Danielle. That was beautiful. So basic information about Soul Games, August 8th at the Miami Gym. We're going to have a lot of surprises, so don't start thinking you know what's programmed and
You
what.
don't know. You don't know what's programmed.
You don't know anything. You don't know anything. But just look out carefully for clues. Look at the programming that Coach Tommy has in your classes. Your attendance in classes needs to be good because there's going to be stuff sprinkled all over programming. There's going to be a super dope shirt designed by the one and only Brian Reedy, who is one of our greatest friends who designs so much iconic Team Soul merch. There's going to be food. It's going to be like a whole event. So we hope to see everybody out there. You guys can check out the QR code that we've been posting everywhere. It's in both gyms, etc. So that's all we got. Peace out,
Yeah.
everybody.